What's up? Happy Monday, everybody. It is our 3-point stance presented by Mountain Dew. Megan Triplet is out today, a.k.a. Trippy Meg. So I got Devin Walker with me. What, Devin? Trying to stay warm. It is cold as hell outside right now. Three things from the weekend. How quickly things can change. The Memphis Tigers, everything looked good after that opening win against St. Mary's up in Sioux Falls. And then 48 hours later, we're talking about losses to Western Kentucky and VCU. Devin, what are the Tigers' biggest issues right now?
The biggest issues right now, John Rosa, the biggest issue is that they can't put the ball in the basket. Like, I feel like the biggest key to basketball,
basketball.
The key to basketball is what outscoring the other team, and I think their biggest issue is outscoring other teams. Actually, the scoring part of it. They play a lot of hero ball, man. They play a lot of hero ball, a lot of me ball, a lot of. I'm not gonna use that three-letter word I've seen a lot on Twitter a lot. The AAU. I've seen a lot of AAU, but it's not AAU ball. But Penny. He puts a lot of emphasis on his kids. He lets his kids play with freedom. He wants them to play like an NBA-style offense where he lets guys read and react and kind of do what the defense is doing. And that's the thing, bro. They're good players, but they're not NBA players.
Yeah.
Like, they can make good reads every now and then, but you're expecting 18, 19, 20-year-olds to react against high-level defenses. And like I said, we've seen what happens. Boogie Ellis got hurt the first game that kind of saved him. Landers got hot in another game that kind of saved him. But when you don't have a heater, it's like, what do we do? And it's been a lot of dribble, pass, dribble, pass. It's a lot of confusion. So once they settle down, like I said, I tweeted this weekend, once they get back to Memphis, watch film and figure out what they need to do, I think Penny will put in some sets to get them baskets, and I think everything will be solved. Because, dude, if you ask Memphis fans, it's downhill from here.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that it can't get worse offensively. Like, it shouldn't get worse offensively. As these guys get more and more chemistry, you've got an offense based off reads. Surely the offense will get better as things go on. Now, moving on to the next one, Saturday night, that Memphis win over Navy, which we should never complain about a win, but there was a lot of complaining, Memphis football fans on Twitter, for that game being a very difficult watch. It was not an easy watch. It was not easy on the eyes, but Memphis goes into Annapolis and gets a win. And while maybe it's like they're clearly not as good as they were last year, but maybe we shouldn't complain a little bit, because you tell me, Mike, that Ryan Silverfield's done two things that Mike Norvell never did.
Hey, two things, Roser. He's done two things that Mike Norvell never did. We love Mike Norvell for the high-flying offenses, the points he put on the board, everything he did for the program. But two things that he did in one season that Mike Norvell didn't do. He beat UCF and he beat Navy in Annapolis. Those are two things that Mike Norvell never did, and Ryan Silverfield has checked those two boxes in one season. It wasn't pretty. I give you that. Winning a game like that, it'll never be fun to watch. But I think Ryan Silverfield said it best. He's probably going to lead the country in ugly wins. Like, we've seen a couple ugly wins from this Memphis Tigers football team this year, and I think he'll be happy with that. As long as you put dubs into the left column and not L's in the right column, I think it's not about how you do it, as long as you get the job done. Because once we look back at this season, maybe afterwards or 2 or 3 years down the line, we're not gonna remember, oh yeah, that ugly win versus Navy or the ugly win against this team. We're gonna say, how many games did you win? How many games did you lose? You got the job done. Like I said, he beat Navy, he beat UCF. So salute Ryan Silverfield. Like, with everything that's going on with the opt-outs, the COVID issues, the rescheduling games, when all that stuff happening, for Ryan Silverfield to do what he's done, to keep their program kind of close together, when you lose probably your best players throughout the season, I think it's a thumbs up to him and a testament to his program.
Yeah, and I think, we looked up at the beginning of the year, and I think we both predicted probably a 2-loss season. So it's really Ryan Silverfield's done a fantastic job, and he continues to do a great job on the recruiting trail. Last thing, I didn't get to watch it, but judging from Twitter, judging from the group text with you and me and Verno that we're all on, Saturday night, Iron Mike Tyson got into the ring against Roy Jones Jr., and you tell me you do not think this is going to be the last time Mike Tyson gets in that ring.
I don't think it'll be the last time. But before I even get to the Mike Tyson thing, Rosa, I think this is probably the best $50 you could ever spend. Like, people were complaining at the beginning, oh, it's Roy Jones Jr., oh, it's Mike Tyson, oh, there's two old heads, I don't want to spend $50 to see those guys fight. That thing was worth every freaking penny. It was worth every penny. From
good to know for next time.
Yeah. For Nate Robinson getting knocked out by Jake Paul, a freaking YouTuber. Like I said, bro, I told you this, Roser. When I saw him hit the ground, I was like, man, it's hilarious. But for the black community, for the NBA community, it's a tough look, man. You can't get knocked out by the YouTube. You can't get knocked out by the YouTube guy.
By the way, what does he even do on YouTube?
He's super problematic on YouTube, by the way. Like he says like over the top stuff. I will say,
okay, he does that kind of stuff. Okay.
He's a shot value guy. He got big on Vine, and he kind of carried that success from Vine to get on YouTube, and now he has like a big following. But apparently, he's been training for boxing for 2 years. So
and this wasn't his first fight. He's got his fight before, yeah.
So Nate Robinson got in there, Roser, and I knew this, and this is the moment when I knew that Nate Robinson was in a bad spot. First second of the fight, Nate Robinson charges him. He's swinging like this. I'm like, oh man.
He didn't train.
He didn't
train right. He thought he was gonna come in there and just whoop up on a white YouTube star.
Exactly, and he got his ass slept. So yeah, my guy Nate Robinson. I don't know what you're doing right now, bro. I hope you're waking up. So what?
Is he awake?
That's the thing. Is he awake? Is Nate Robinson awake right now? the best thing about it, like so many memes became out of it. Like one of those things, like we talk about in 2020, like it's been so depressing. Like as a community event like this, a lot of like jokes came out of this, and that's what you like to see. But as far as the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight, like I said, Roser, it was for me at a young age. I'd never seen Mike Tyson fight because when he was in his prime, I probably wasn't, like you said, I wasn't even born. And when he fought Lennox Lewis here,
when you were born,
exactly. When he fought Lennox Lewis, I was 8 or 9 years old, and you said he wasn't in his prime. But to see Mike Tyson fight Saturday night, I saw why people were in such an awe of him when he was in his prime. And at the age of like 50-something, you know? So that tells you how great of a shape he was in. He came out to this whack-ass EDM song called I'm Mike Tyson. That was weird. He came out to it like weird.
Yeah, that's not a very Mike Tyson thing.
Yeah, the song was like I'm Mike Tyson. I'm like, all right, that's weird. But once he got in the ring, it was all business. I think from the first or second round, I think Roy Jones realized like I effed up getting into this fight with this crazy.
He actually wants to fight. Like it's actually a real fight to him.
Yeah, he's like, I thought we were just like sparring, and like Mike Tyson's like in there like body shots, like Mike Tyson was ready to fight, and Roy Jones was ready to go to the crib by like round 2 or 3. And for me, the entertainment factor was like a 10 out of 10 because, man, Mike Tyson was throwing blows. Roy Jones Jr., he was sucking blows. He was like, he was getting tired. He was doing the thing where he was trying to like hit Mike Tyson to like duck away because he knew if he caught one, he was going to be asleep. But as far as entertainment value, it was 10 out of 10. After the fight, they had a post-fight interview, and they asked Mike Tyson, "How you feeling?" And he said, "I'm feeling good." And you can see Roy Jones just. He's sucking where Mike Tyson's joking like, y'all asking about him. Why don't y'all worry about me? I haven't fought in 15 years. Because Roy Jones just fought his last fight maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So for Mike Tyson to be in that kind of shape, it was phenomenal to watch. And like you said, I do not think Mike Tyson is done. I think Mike Tyson in this fight, he saw that I can still get in the ring and I can throw blows. So I think maybe down the line, maybe he fights another legend or something like that. I think this won't be the last time Mike Tyson will fight. But I do think this will be the last time Roy Jones Jr. is going to fight.
Roy Jones Jr. done. Mike Tyson not done. Tiger basketball, Tiger football, and Iron Mike Tyson. Devin, appreciate you stepping in today. This has been our 3-Point Stance presented by Mountain Dew.